Hi, everyone. My name is Grant Glowiak. I'm one of the staff here at the Union Church of Hinsdale, and this is our Advent 2020 Lectio Divina series. Lectio Divina is an ancient monastic practice where we try to foster an encounter with God through the living Word. Translated, it means divine reading. And it's a more contemplative way of reading the Bible than, say, a Bible study is. This spiritual practice can be done individually on your own, or it can be done in a group where people share their responses with one another. So you can share this practice with members of your family as well. Here's how it works. You find a place that is restful, non-distracting, comfortable, warm. And it might be helpful if you're someone whose mind is running a lot of the time to perhaps meditate a little while beforehand just to quiet your mind and get into a space where you can get the most out of this practice. Now, each day we'll be reading and reflecting on a different part of the Christmas story reading, either from Matthew or Luke, primarily with a little bit of John thrown in there as well. So keep in mind, these are bite-sized readings. They're only a few verses long. So we'll be able to read them several times and really focus in and deeply reflect on where we see God and where we see ourselves in the passage for the day. And we will be releasing these every day throughout Advent, 6 days of the week. Sundays, you'll have your normal worship practice for that day. There are 4 or perhaps 5, depending on how you look at it, sections of this practice. So the first section is referred to as Lectio, and we'll read read the passage 3 times. The first time we'll read it just to see what is going on in the passage. What does the text literally say? Getting our grounding. Upon the second reading, we'll pay attention to anything that perhaps unsettles or disturbs us in the reading, or if there is anything you find particularly appealing about the passage. And then on the third reading, we will try to focus in on a single phrase or even a single word that is jumping out at you. So that's the first section. The second section, we'll read the passage 3 times again. That is the meditatio section, the meditation section. On that first reading in section 2, we'll visualize that passage, or perhaps the phrase or word if you've gotten your reflection down to that small of a chunk. And what do you see in your mind? That fifth reading or second reading of the second section, what part of this story is resonating with what is happening in your life right now? And that final 6th reading will be, what is the text saying to me specifically in this moment? The third section, oratio, that is where we start to speak, either aloud or to God. In that first part of the third section, we acknowledge the presence of God and we seek divine guidance. You can pray your own prayer at that time, or you can follow along. I'll be using verses 1 through 8 and 23 and 24 of Psalm 139. After that, we'll have a minute of silence to express our feelings and thoughts about this passage to God. So it is a two-way street. And then that final part of the third section, we will ask God, how can we be more of what God hopes us to be? The fourth section is the contemplation, the contemplatio section. And we'll use that phrase or that word that we've honed in on as a mantra. Or if it's an image, then you'll just focus on that image in your mind's eye and use that as a mantra. So repeat that word or phrase for several minutes of prayer. And that's really as long as you would like to do that for. Some people like to, really commit and do a 15, 20-minute thing. Some people are fine with 1 or 2 minutes. It really is sort of what you're looking to get out of that practice. And if distractions come, if you're familiar with meditation, that is absolutely normal, completely fine. Acknowledge them. dismiss them, or perhaps maybe they have a bearing on what it is that you're reflecting on. And then the fifth section is when we go forth into the world and we try to find that specific intention that the passage is getting to us that day, and live that day and live into that day with that specific intention in mind. So those are the four sections. We'll be doing these every day. So we look forward, hopefully, to seeing you in the other videos. Peace be with you.